just joining in, then we would get started. So this would be a hybrid session where some people are joining online and some people are doing. So good evening, parents and students. Well, we have a proud occasion today. One of our students has got an Ivy League admit. So she is very much here. So we're just finishing some photographs with her. Then she'll be coming in. And what this session would have is there will be 3 speakers in this session. One is Kavya and her father. Second is Orithro and his parents. Third is Dr. Mrs. Sunita Maladi. Her son is with us. So they will be sharing their experiences of study abroad things. Now, all 3 of them have different things. So, जब आप उनसे मिलेंगे तब you will realize what they have gone through. And then myself and Manish will give you that's the first part of our talk. And then myself and Manish would explain you things. So, ये एक broad होगा. You can expect first session would last for about half an hour or so, and then second session would last for about 20 minutes or so. This is so we should expect the session to begin around 5:15. 5:45, the first session should get over, and maximum by 6:15 with Q&A and all we should be done. So that's the timelines. We are distributing some folders to you. I hope you receive the folders. There will be small refreshments. We will serve you the refreshments. So this is the entire structure of the session today. Give us about 4-5 minutes for us to get started. Aye, sir, please. That's actually after the Yes. या इसको पूरी नीचे या एक तो ये कर सकते हैं या इसको पूरी ये कर दीजिए क्योंकि दो ही लोगों का that's also Hello, namaste, good evening. This is Manish Saraf, and welcome to this session. We are very happy to have all of you here. And this is a very important discussion that we have organized more informally than formally. And we have also taken an opportunity today where we will do some experience sharing coming from students who would have traveled this path studying in US, from parents who are traveling this path and have achieved some milestones. So whole idea is that हम कुछ experience sharing करें, उससे सीखें, because people who are present here, you have crossed your first milestone. SAT की तैयारी की है, SAT का first attempt दिया है, second attempt दिया है, and there are some scores that you have to do. So the big question now facing us is what next? अब हम next क्या करेंगे? Score आ गया तो अब क्या करना है? Application के लिए क्या करना है? So one thing common among all of us today is that we are looking for Fall 24 admission. The whole effort that has gone into creating this event is not only giving you information about what next, but also making you involved in this process because of कुछ बहुत important milestones cover करने हैं, decisions लेने हैं. So we'll hear from people who have already done this, been here, done that types, where उन्होंने ये सब experience किया है. So we'll try and learn from their good part and their improvement part. They'll advise you on that, and then Anubhav sir will come in and he'll talk about how we can help you. So एक छोटा सा हमने यहाँ पे एक informal सा ये event plan किया है. So before we roll in, I'll invite our chairman, at Universal Tutorials, ML Sinal Saab, and he would want to say a few words. Sir, they are all yours. आप start करें and then we will roll this interaction. Sir, please.
यूनिवर्सल ट्यूटोरियल कोर्स चालू है। इसका पहला सेशन शुरू हुआ था 14 दिसंबर 98 में और अनुभव सिन्हा को ये यूनिवर्सल ट्यूटोरियल खोलने का गाइडेंस अग्रवाल साहब ने, जिनकी अग्रवाल क्लासेस थी बॉम्बे में, उन्होंने दिया था और उनकी गाइडेंस में हम लोगों ने ये यूनिवर्सल ट्यूटोरियल की क्लास चालू की थी। उनका बेसिक सिद्धांत अग्रवाल साहब का, जब तक उन्होंने अग्रवाल क्लास चलाई, जब तक वो खुद जिंदा रहे, जब तक वो अग्रवाल क्लास चलाई, उनकी गाइडेंस में जब तक जिंदा रहे तब तक हमारी क्लास चलती रही और उनके डेथ के बाद उन्होंने अग्रवाल क्लास बंद कर दी, क्योंकि उनका एक बहुत बड़ा प्रिंसिपल था और हम लोग यूनिवर्सल ट्यूटोरियल में वो प्रिंसिपल 100% फॉलो करते आए हैं और करते रहेंगे। वो प्रिंसिपल ये था कि बच्चे अपने पास जो एडमिशन लेते हैं और हमारे पे भरोसा करके आते हैं, तो अगर कोई बच्चा किसी तरह की मेहनत करता है तो उसको बड़ी से बड़ी सक्सेस दिलाने की जिम्मेदारी हमारी बनती है और वही प्रिंसिपल हम फॉलो करते आए हैं और अभी तक फॉलो कर रहे हैं और आगे फ्यूचर में भी फॉलो करते रहेंगे। उसी सिद्धांत पे अनुभव पूरी तरह से कंसंट्रेट करता आया है और करता रहेगा और आप सब लोगों को हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. So, he has been a guiding principle, though we run it operationally, but his blessings and his motivation and his big targets for us have always ensured that, we do work of quality, we do satisfactory work, and we achieve greater heights. Thank you for that always, sir. Thank you. So, what I'll do is now, I'll start this session and there are some more guests who will join in. So, as I start, we have kept this session basically to understand what after SAT, because SAT happens to be one thing, or like I said, one milestone that we have achieved. There are more to be covered before we land up with our dream admits, desired admits, deserved admits. So this particular talk that we are doing today, we have divided into certain points. People have also joined online with us. So I see Agarwal Saab there and Mr. Ganesh also joining us. चल रहा है सबके लिए? ठीक है, sir. Thank you. So we will first, I'll introduce the concept which I've already done. Then we'll go into that interactive talk, which we have called experience sharing. Then we'll talk about what is profile building. So after SAT, after we have written SAT, profile building क्या होता है, क्यों जरूरी है, आपके application में इसका क्या impact पड़ेगा. Then we will talk about, I think I'll use. नहीं क्या हो गया? Yes. Then we'll talk about university application क्या है, because unlike India where you get an all India rank and you are called for counseling, US application में nobody calls you. That is one big change. We'll have to apply and approach university to an application process which is equally, if not more, equally important, just like preparing and writing SAT. So we'll talk about that, and then we will go for how we can help you. ये वाले part अनुभव सर देंगे. and then we'll have an open house. So that's the agenda that we'll have. Quickly, let me introduce what this concept is. So university application, we thought rather than we talking, हम उन लोगों से बात करें जिन लोगों ने ये यूनिवर्सिटी एप्लीकेशन पहले किया है. So we have 3 sets of parents and students who will talk to us. जिसमें से 2 parents ऐसे हैं जिन्होंने ये बहुत recently अभी experience किया है. They have admits under their belt. There is one student who did it last year and he is at UCSD. मैं उनको introduce करूँगा. So the whole idea is to absorb this information, increase and grow on our awareness quotient, get involved in the application process as parents. As students, you must know what is at stake, आगे क्या करना पड़ेगा, and decision making. Many of you are preparing for NEET and IITs and other Indian competitive exam. यहाँ पे exam देने के बाद ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं है. But you know the real fun or game start when it comes to US admissions is after writing the exam. So this is how, or this is when game begins. SAT देना तो start है. So we will talk about that. So आज का session उसके बारे में है. We'll also take this opportunity to celebrate success. One big success that we have, and a lot of admits, other admits we have. So we thought we'll also use this opportunity to celebrate that. Like I said, we'll learn from the people who have traveled this path. Understand technical details, next steps for coming, let's say, 12 months. So understanding that is what we want to do. And lastly, जो मैं भूल गया हूँ, मुझे यहाँ देखना ही पड़ेगा 1 minute, which is then you will be choosing your path. Okay. So results have started coming in. इससे पहले कि Orithro आए, हम result discuss कर देते हैं. Orithro happens to be one of our guests today. So there are some university admits we have got. This is just because university, US admits का कैसा होता है? You apply in various categories. तो अब आपको धीरे-धीरे ये सब सुनने को मिलेगा, जानने को मिलेगा. There's something called as ED, early decision. There's something called as EA, early action. There's something called as regular, where you apply in the regular side. We'll talk about more. So अभी कुछ admits आने लगे हैं उन बच्चों के जिन्होंने either ED, early decision, या EA, early action का apply और regular में भी apply किया होगा. So these are some admits that have come. Atish, he has got 2 admits, Texas A&M and Arizona State University. And as I speak to you, those all admit decisions आज सुबह भी आए हैं. तो अभी वो इतना update नहीं हुआ. Varun, Penn State, he has got an admit, and Shruti madam वहाँ आए. और कहाँ आया? And he has got from Pittsburgh, Gulf Kumar, University at Buffalo, New York, and Stony Brooks, and Akhil, Minnesota, Penn State. ये दो हैं इसके पास, and Jay from Arizona and Rutgers. So these are the students जिन्होंने early apply किया. अभी admits चालू हैं, early वाले decisions आ रहे हैं, regular वाले मार्च तक आते हैं, early अभी आ जाएंगे. तो ये सब आना चालू हुआ इन बच्चों का. Close to UG PG मिला के there are students in 3 digits who have applied और अब उनके admissions decisions आ रहे हैं. So we'll share more. This is a big one. This is one big admit. It's an Ivy League admit, which is like one of the dream admits. Kavya, she is here today for Fall 23 School of Engineering, Cornell University. तो दुनिया की वो 8 टॉप यूनिवर्सिटीज जिनको आईवी लीग कहा जाता है, उसमें से एक कॉर्नेल यूनिवर्सिटी है, and Kavya has got this admit. So a round of applause for Kavya and all my students. Thank you so much. So, and these are some more admits that we have got over these years, and this is a sample of this. So you will see admits from US and Canada and Germany and Sweden, UK, in various disciplines. Hi, Orithro, how are you? मैं ठीक हूँ. तुम कैसे हो सर? Please come in. आइए ना. Everyone, please come. Keywordless. नहीं आए नहीं सर. अरे everyone, आइए. Please come. आइए. Please come. आ जाओ. Please, I call you. आके बताता हूँ. So how is weather there? It's amazing. So here's Orithro Datta. इसकी भी फोटो है यहाँ पे, वही रहा. And अभी तो वो in person है. So these are various admits across majors, across countries, and across universities. तो ये हमारे कुछ admits थे. So we thought we will share this with you. Now I come down to this experience sharing part where I take rest and I leave it to the the horses so that we hear from horses' mouth, something like that. So we do experience sharing. The format, before I introduce the speaker, the format is we have a structured talk where there are some set questions, and these questions would be volleyed around the speakers, and they will be sharing their experience, naturally, whatever they feel about that, the good and the bad and the excellent part of it. And then towards the end of this particular talk, it will be an open house. यहाँ पे आप भी उनसे पूछ सकते हैं, whatever you want to do, you want to ask, आप भी कर सकते हैं. So let me introduce this panel to you, if I can call this a panel, and I'll also request Anubhav sir to please welcome our speakers with this flower, bouquet of flowers. So our first speaker, let me welcome in not any particular order, Dr. Sunita Maladi. Madam, please come. Madam is parent of Akhil Maladi, and Akhil applied in early action in many universities. उसका फायदा ये हुआ that आज दिसंबर के मंथ में तीनों उसके अगस्त में मेरे पास चॉइसेस हैं अखिल को कहाँ भेजना है मई तक मैं डिसाइड करूंगी तो फॉल 23 में अखिल जाएगा सो हम मैडम से बात करने वाले हैं लेट मी कॉल मिस्टर जयराम पेरेंट ऑफ काव्या जयराम so happy to be here. Your energy. Now let me invite Orithro and Kavya. I invite Kavya first because of Agiti. So we have Kavya, Cornell University admit, Fall 23 admit. Let's get it for Kavya. And let me invite my friend from US, Orithro Datta. So he's here on his summer break, semester break with us. So welcome Orithro. And he's with UCSD, one of the top universities. UC schools में बहुत अच्छा है overall. This is I'll stand here. I think this is better. So this is the panel, and we'll be talking to them. We'll have some questions here, and you don't have to worry. I'll read the question to you, and then I request one of you to respond or a couple of you to respond, and in turn we'll go like this. And ये कुछ जैसे questions होंगे, उसके बाद we'll have an open house. आप भी पूछ सकते हैं. So we will start. I think I'll go there. Yes. And just पीछे वो कैमरे का रेंज नहीं है. Yes. पर बहुत ज़्यादा पीछे मत जाइएगा. Then we will not tell the voice to be moved. It is being around the five years. So okay. So this is the first question that we have, and the question one is, when did you start your application? I think this is for all four of you. Rather, all three of you, if I consider one. So when did you really start your application in terms of month, in terms of timeline? And when I say start the application, meaning university selection wala thing, after writing SAT, university selection पे first step, वो phase कब चालू हुआ? We start with you, Orithro. If you remember, कौन से month में? Orithro is 1 year senior, if all of you will realize. He's already started. He's at UCSD, he completed 1 semester. Kavya and Akhil would go next year in August, so they are yet to start. So, we would be giving that kind of an experience to all of them. Yes, please continue.
I'm probably the worst person to ask this question. Gauges, it feels like. But I gave my second attempt at the SAT in October. So I probably started around November, I'd say. I was tentatively done by December end, but I missed quite a few early application deadlines because I was late. So I was done by then. So I'd say November.
So when he was in his 12th standard in November, what he's saying is he started. And last year. And he thinks he was relatively late.
I was pretty
late. Okay.
He improved our process in the sense we were doing a WhatsApp. Now, आप लोग सब लोग, you have individual WhatsApp. Before that, we did not have that individual WhatsApp system. So his test case is where I got a filing from his mother, and the mother said, Anubhav, what the hell is going on? I am not aware. We are working parents. So I very clearly, distinctly remember that he improved our process, where we created individual WhatsApp after we got a showdown from our mother, because as a working parent, we as counselors need to make sure that we are communicating to our stakeholders properly. So this is something which I remember of Arutro, that what he said. So because hum log kids were dependent there, then we involved the mother and father stakeholders also, and we brought them in the WhatsApp code. Previous to that, we were only talking to the children and doing that. So this was, if you remember, Shruti ma'am, this is one of the processes we improved on, and then we had all these stakeholders coming in, and then Shruti doing that. So please.
Right.
Okay, so I am currently in third grade. Sorry if my voice is going to keep again just recovering from a cold, but I think we've always been discussing about me going abroad. So I had a list ready beginning of this year, but it sort of got finalized, let's say, when I gave my second attempt in October. I gave my second attempt in October, and that's when I finally picked my university list, which I'm applying early, which I'm applying regular. Luckily for me, I don't have to do a regular now because my early decision came through. Otherwise, I'm also prepared to do my regular decisions, apply regular this December, the next few weeks, and then get the results next March. Within March.
Okay, thank you so much. So what she's saying is, unlike Orithro, so there are different cases. Orithro started somewhere in November of this, and January, February.
Yeah.
January, February this year is when Kavya started working on the university list and application part. So university list happens to be your first step, pehla pailan, for applying. Madam?
So we started looking at the university list around March. I mean, we started contemplating by around June, July, we were selected with the list. We were one of the early people who started, and I was very sure that we are going to do early action most of the universities. I didn't want to wait till the end.
Yes. So here we have three cases, somebody starting in November for whatsoever reason, January or in June. Admit sabko aata hai. The point is how to spread that work. और ये कितना exhaustive और depth वाला work है वो धीरे धीरे हम समझते जाते हैं. So I move to my next question, and thank you for responding to that. This is, I'm a novice with this still. Okay, so question 2, this is, what are some of the important steps that we have taken before submitting the application? Try and give top 3 steps application submit karne se pehle that we have taken. Okay, after SAT and before submitting the application, top 3 things that one is supposed to do or that you have done. Madam, we started.
So after the SAT, the first thing you do is obviously prepare for TOEFL, because that's one thing which you want to get done with. You don't want to keep it pending till the end. So you start preparing for TOEFL and give the TOEFL exam. And then the university selection comes, depending on your profile. What is your SAT score? Depending on what your choice of major. So selecting the major, I think, is the next major step, because you need to be sure what you're looking at. And believe me, I think major selection is very difficult. It appears that it is easy, but the child has to be really okay with it, that you're going to go and do this. And then the third step would be identifying the list of universities, shortlisting it. In that, Anwar and Minister help a lot. And you create your list, then they will give you some reports, and then you finalize the list finally. And meanwhile, around your major, whatever major you have selected, you need to do certain activities, some some courses, some projects. So, I mean, that should start as early as 9th or 10th. If you have a major to your mind, ideally you should start around 9th and 10th. So, but if you're still not decided and you're still not decided whether you want to go the JEE path or the NEET path or want to do this university application, then 11th is the deadline. I mean, you can't wait beyond that. You need to have your, maybe social work, community service, or other things centered around your major.
Right.
So that also is very.
So we got 3 points from you, madam, and I'll put it this way: preparing for TOEFL, major selection, and ये लिख भी रहा है तो शॉर्टलिस्टिंग द यूनिवर्सिटीज मैडम ने जो 3 चीजें बताई आफ्टर एसएटी टॉफल मेजर सिलेक्शन यूनिवर्सिटी सिलेक्शन काव्या 3 things after SAT different same but before submitting the application you think there are 3 broad things that you have to go through you have gone through it.
Yes, so I think the reason applying abroad is very different from applying in India is because it's not just your academics. Of course, you have to do well in your SAT and your grade level. But there's also a big component of extracurricular activities. And even the extracurricular activities, I sort of broke it down into 3 different types of activities. One will be your academic activities, which major, like I'm saying, whatever major you're doing, you have to do activities out of school regarding that major to show your interest. The second category will be your passion, your hobbies. For example, I was a Bharatanatyam dancer for a long time. And so I think I continued that. I showed I showed my interest in that and demonstrated that, a passion, my hobby. And the third type would be volunteer community service. What are you doing for society? So I think once you're done with your SAT, it's very important that you start thinking about each of these 3 extracurricular activities, like the types. What are you doing? What can you be doing? And another thing I would say would be your essays because they're very, very important. Actually they're the most important, most of your personal statement. So as early as even like 11th grade or beginning of 12th grade, if you don't start, I'm not saying you have your final list ready, but start thinking about ideas. What can I write about? Write maybe 1 page draft about something you're interested in. Even if it's not the best, you're going to go through multiple rounds and eventually you get something that works. But start thinking in that direction. Maybe what I have to say. That's it.
Wow, excellent, some excellent points. So what she's saying is, I think I understood 2 things. Start thinking about what outside the classroom. Extracurriculars, उसको compartmentalize किया आपने, academics, hobbies, and social work. So number 1. Number 2, what she's saying is essays. And this is fairly exhaustive. अभी सभी बात करेंगे. I'll have a lot of questions around that. Because when you sit to write, you must have that masala to write. So what she's saying is that the earlier you start writing your essay, the better it is for you because it's a creative process. And your first draft will not be a final draft. There will be multiple drafts and then the real essay. Or if you remember something.
I feel like a lot of stuff is covered already, but I will say everything, all of the parts of your application that you are presenting to the university, it's important that you lay out everything in a way that they see you for the best you can be. Because if you have amazing grades and amazing extracurricular, but you present it in a lackluster way, it's like it's just you want to be the best you can be. So I will also another thing is I resonate with the major point that Auntie said because I still don't have a major technically. So I applied for economics, I got into economics. I still don't know what I'm specializing in. So I have the opportunity to switch into business economics or economics with maths. I still don't know which one I want to do. And I feel like I take a few more months to decide. So it's really important to know what you want to do and present it in that.
Right. You want to add something?
Yeah, I want to actually talk about this major thing. ये एक mindset है अपने इंडिया में, and I face this as a block when I'm talking to students and parents. India में the way our IITs and our system works, होता है कि आपको किस में जाना है, computer engineering में जाना है. The university environment over there allows you to decide your major 1 year down the line. Now, there also they are facing a herd mentality in the abroad world also. Computer science is a capped major. So उसके अलावा अगर आप दूसरे को देख रहे हो तो you may. So I mean to say we have a student over here. आपने में देखा होगा Varun Rawani. We counseled that boy and he's actually deciding to apply to undecided. And he's already got admissions. So there's nothing wrong in applying undecided. And as long as there are certain capped fields like computer science, if you are going without a major, ऐसा नहीं है कि you are आप गलत हो या आपने कुछ you've done some crime. नहीं, बहुत अच्छा है वो भी कर सकते हैं. That's something to say about.
So I quickly summarize. After you have written SAT, if I put everything into perspective, there are 6 broad things that we'll have to do now. Plan for TOEFL, if not given TOEFL. Think about major, because in your essays, abhi essays pe aate hain, you may have to write what you want to do. Go for university shortlisting. Start putting extra currics into a perspective, no matter how small that extra curric is, and no matter आपने उसको nationally किया है, internationally किया है, locally किया है, society level पे किया है, अभी don't judge. Start putting it into perspective. कुछ category में डालना चालू कीजिए. That's the fourth point. Essays you have to write a lot. So the moment you start with your university selection, कुछ common essay prompts होंगे, उन पे essays लिखना पड़ेगा, personal statements लिखना पड़ेगा, उस पे काम कीजिए. And like Orito said that there is a lot of work that you have to actually do, and it will make a lot of sense if you start thinking about the major university selection. ये सारा काम आप देखेंगे अभी से लेके एप्लीकेशन तक, सबमिशन के पहले तक, ये सब थिंग ऑल दिस विल हैव टू सॉर्ट इट आउट. ठीक है, तो इन सब में एक बहुत कॉमन सी चीज है एसे राइटिंग, which becomes the foundation of your application. And these people, we believe, actually read what we write. वो ऐसे actually कोई पढ़ रहा है वहाँ बैठ के, और आप हमारे admission decision को impact कर रहा है in a larger way. जितना ऐसे भी important है, उतना ऐसे important. So we come down to essays. Okay. Yes, yes, sir. Please.
So I think the other one thing that we realize at one of the product is that I think this, alongside your hobbies and your talents, one very important, and I can't stress enough of it, is profile building from a community service, or one of the that is super important. I know folks who got lesser than in SAT and still made it local, right? Just because they had a superior profile of giving back to the community, extracurriculars outside, and they did that very, very consciously, and especially folks in IT schools, they do it in a very conscious. Those are CBSC or ICSC do not have that very basic. And I feel that one can be better prepared. I think our work also has, an element of assist in that also, which we learn. But I just something that is.
Very important point, Mr. Datta, and we're talking about that when he presents. Very important point. Sir, please.
Yeah, I also wanted to add a point on major, because I think we discussed this major thing for a while. What are the majors? Sort of the worst majors to apply as an Asian male is computer science. And it's like an impossible thing to get. I mean, because you have Chinese, everybody who are really, really good at what they do. So I think this major is a very, very important thing as you embark on your journey today. Because what you're trying to do is, once you decide the major, most of your activities, most of the things you do are going to be centered around that. Your story is going to be built around that. And I'll give an example of, let's say, Vanderbilt, great school, it's a top 20 school. Vanderbilt, if you apply to the School of Education, your chances are 10 times higher than the School of Engineering. And it's 10x. Now, if you get into the School of Education, show up there on the first day, and on the second day you say, I don't really like it, I want to shift to engineering, and they will let you shift to engineering. So I'm not telling you guys to, I'm in fact telling you, if you are interested in majors that are easier to get into, please build a profile around that, because it will make, and explain to your wards and sons that you're not going to be done. Of course, it's not true of every school. There are affected majors, like San Diego is an affected major, UC Berkeley is an affected major. So if you're an affected major school, then you have to get admitted to CS. But most schools don't have that affected major issue. So yeah, for Berkeley, you apply to CS. But for all other schools which don't have the affected major, please think through the major. It's a very, very important decision. And don't go for what your heart wants right now. Focus on what your profile looks like, what is looking strong, where you can present yourself as a candidate.
Yes, because thank you so much. Because when you apply to US, it's all about storytelling. It's all about creating a narrative around who you are. And that's precisely my third question. And what he's saying is, so whatever is strong in your profile, accordingly you should build your story and defend the major, rather than going for the competitive or popular major, which may not be really reflecting on your profile. I think you're saying.
Yeah.
You can think of a related major also with the mind. That also works very well.
Yes, any of those. I mean, but the most competitive. I mean, and we see this too, right? I mean, there's a popular meme in India, which is अगर IIT को IIT में पढ़ाई करनी है, so the mother has to start teaching the womb itself to the kid. So it's very similar. All these people who are doing CS, they start building their profiles very early. In their 9th grade, they're doing like international competitions. So now, if you're sort of pitting yourself against that CS person, your chances are significantly. So just be aware of that.
So we go to next question. Tell us something about this demon called essay. इसके बारे में बताइए, because we have been talking about it. So tell us everything good and challenging about essay. What is this essay writing? How did you tackle it? What were some of the challenges that you faced? Yeah, Aurithro, start with you.
Essay writing is one of the toughest processes of the whole application. It has so much weight, but also it's probably the most creative aspect. You can do the most with it. So the way I started was I started by writing down the main points that I wanted to write about in the different essays, then starting and revising. And it was like some of the biggest challenges I faced, I still remember. I was lost when it came to explaining who I was as a person. But I was like, I am so many things. I can't put into words what I am as a person, but you have to do that. You have to do it in a way in which they can see you for who you are. And it's not easy. So what I would say is, you want to do is finalize your essay as soon as possible. Don't start off by trying to write the perfect essay. Instead, try to revise as many times as possible. I did that for sure, and I think it will.
Okay. A very specific question to you, Kavya. Only talk about the challenge of writing essay. What are some of the biggest challenges you think?
Okay, I think like you said, we're not used to writing about ourselves, and like we're not used to even boasting about ourselves, that this is all I do. I'm the best candidate for you. We're not used to that. So I think what's most challenging is you have to get yourself in that mindset. And again, that doesn't come in one shot. You're not going to write one draft, it's not going to be perfect. So you write about even multiple topics in the beginning, and you talk about different topics, you write multiple drafts. Eventually something will come out. So the challenge is just keeping that open mindset. That okay, it's not going to come out perfect initially, but I have to work on it. I have to necessarily more drafts. I have to perfect it eventually with time. So you have to be able to spend that much time and give that much effort.
Okay. Madam?
So here I have one point. One thing which I didn't do, but I would advise, that most of the common app questions remain same year to year. Okay, they don't change much. There may be a little bit of words change, but ultimately the questions remain same. So there are around 8 or 8 questions, yeah, out of which we pick up one. So we waited till August for the common app questions to come up and then see. So that's actually not needed. You can start as early as you have decided. Maybe March, May, when your child has 11th, 12th vacation time, you have more time then to sit on the question, think about it, and start working on it. And then of course, as they said, it takes a lot of time. I mean, you have to actually sit, and some of the questions are such that you will see them and you think there's nothing to write in this. I mean, I don't know what to write about in this. But slowly, with the help of, I think, guidance, teachers like Nandini ma'am. So yeah.
I think she's right. The 8th topic is bring your own topic and write your own.
Yeah.
So I think if you're sitting here today, you can start tonight.
Yeah.
And all of us are writer's block. I don't care what it is, kids can just go and write whatever they want. It is going to go through 150 iterations. I'm not exaggerating. So, if you write it, and for parents too, you can write a sentence today in 30 words. I guarantee you can say the same thing in 10 words in like 5 days. So this process is iterative. You have to start immediately and do not delay it. Don't go through August or.
Yeah, you don't need to wait for the prompts to be uploaded. Most of the prompts remain same. The essence of the prompts is same. So the day you decide that you're going to go through the application process, you select the major, do your activities, and once you start doing the activities, only then would you be able to frame your essay. So everything needs to, simultaneously you have to work on everything, right from major selection to university selection to essay prompts, all
So
of
the
that.
personal statements are nothing. You can go to YouTube and look at it. People talk about,
Yeah,
how they learn
it
driving.
can be something like
Any-
a challenge like a weight loss or
Anything.
anything like. So, most of the time we feel it has to be only around academics or we think that it is to be centered around some activity, but it isn't the case. And the most interesting essays are the one which just come, you know,
From the heart.
From the heart. That's what. And they
Yeah.
make out, and they make it out.
And possibly those are the most challenging essays
Most
also.
challenging essays.
Because things to come from heart takes time. You know, your brain should sync with your heart. So a couple of points that I think is timely with that. There's paucity of time. And second, like Kavya said, you'll have to write multiple versions. And जब लिखने बैठते हैं, introduce yourself, who you are. Let me tell you, that's a big blind spot. खुद के बारे में बात करना. It's not only about bragging, but it's about saying in the most impressive manner in few words. ये सबसे बड़ा challenge है. So I think two big challenges to be more precise, concise, and timely. Okay, thank you so much. And I skipped this question. I think that was answered. Let me go to this particular question. What are the other things that are required other than essay with respect to application that you have gone for? Essay के साथ और क्या चाहिए? Madam,
ये भी बात
anything else that we need?
आपको स्कूल के ट्रांसक्रिप्ट्स चाहिए.
You need school transcripts.
तो कोई बहुत टाइम लगाते हैं तेरे को, तो it's earlier the better. Start with your 11th transcripts, your 9th, 10th transcripts, and what else?
So she's saying transcripts are not
LORs.
are not mark sheets per se. Transcripts are particular format में आपको mark sheet चाहिए. From 9, 10, 11, 12, you have to request to schools, and the day you request is not the day when you will get it. So you'll have to prep them up and get those transcripts. Kavya, what else? Along yeah.
No, I don't have any other points to add, and my only point to add is education is democratized. So everything is available. Of course, you need their help in the counseling part, but everything is available on the internet. So and this is the point I made earlier to them. I meet a lot of parents that they're very educated engineers, doctors, accountants, and so forth, but they say, I don't understand anything about this process. And I think that's very wrong. If you don't understand about this process, there's something really wrong with, you won't be able to help your child in this process. You need to be integrally involved. And I know everybody says, I'm busy, I'm very busy. All of us are. So if you have to put your life on hold, please do that for 6 months and help your kids in this process.
I think despite having a lot of help from your counselor and you have a guidance from UP, but I think for me, my parents' support, how involved my dad also was in this process, made it so much easier for me. So I think that's very big. Have their
One
support
parent has
and
to
so-
be involved, yeah,
Yeah.
more or less, yeah, one parent has. to. And
That's a very yeah.
Is activities list, that's how activities come. The 10 activities, you have to describe them in very short for power app. And if you are applying to other universities, then there is one. Very activities.
also the letters of recommendation from schools, some of the schools are very strict, I mean, some of the schools won't give you those letters of, they won't share with you, you don't know what they're going to write, so you have to keep them in loop and have a healthy relationship, so you put the letters of recommendation. So all of these components help, like SAT scores, the essays, the LORs, the activities list, so everything has a place.
Right. So again, like I usually do, let me summarize. Other than essays, we'll need letter of recommendations. Ideally, 3 letter of recommendation coming from 11, 12 teachers. ये भी टाइम कंज्यूमिंग है, टीचर से बात करना, उनकी रजामंदी लेना, फिर ज्यादातर टीचर लेटर ऑफ रिकमेंडेशन आपसे मांगेंगे, आप लेके आ जाएंगे, they will do it. So वो लेटर ऑफ रिकमेंडेशन भी लिखना of 1 page into 3 paragraphs, who you are और वो क्यों recommend कर रहे हैं आप. We'll need transcripts, we'll need resume. तो ये सब documentary ऐसे support system है along with essay, जो कि equally time consuming है और हमको उनको भी बनाना पड़ेगा, करना पड़ेगा, साथ में जहां से लाना है वहां से लाना पड़ेगा. So we come down to last few questions before we go for open house. Any watchouts when you are submitting your application to university? Anything, and I think we'll pick one from per participant. Any watch out that you want to sound. We'll start with you, Kavya. When you're submitting your application, you have to ध्यान रखना है.
Okay, so just while you're submitting your application, for example, most of us will use a common app to apply to POS. You use a common app portal. So I think it's very important to go through your entire application before you submit, even though you might have typed it correctly. Just read your essays again, read your information again, your name, your whatever, all your information, read it again, and you make sure it's correct before submitting. And then once you submit, watch out for the emails that the colleges will send you about the login portal, because that's where you'll get your admission in the coming months. So watch out for those emails, log into the portal, so you're ready later on. It's not a hassle later.
So there's one key thing I wanted to add about the common, which we found out. When you write your essay and you copy paste it from Word into Common App, it takes the single spacing between paragraphs and makes it double spacing, which is quirky. We didn't know. I mean, when you print out the PDF, you see everything double spaced. So what you do is you take out the spacing between the paragraphs, and then it becomes single spaced. It's quirky, but it looks really bad when it's double spaced, and it shows that you haven't seen it. So yeah, you can generate a PDF and go through, like, I think after Kavya finished her applications, all three of us would sit down before she submitted and go through word by word to make sure everything was there. So that would take an hour or two for each application.
Right, thank you. So we have been referring to something called as common app. And you may be wondering what is this common app. So common app, just for our understanding, is like a portal where for consortium of universities that come together, you apply through common app. So सारे documents एक बार डालना है common app पे, select the universities and it goes to it. So that is common app, common application portal. तो ये वो portal है जिसको हम बार-बार refer कर रहे हैं, जिसमें कुछ उसके prompts हैं, कुछ university specific prompts. More we can always discuss when we come to that part. I think we took that question about submitting the application. I'll quickly go to possibly the last question. And madam, from you as parent, one big advice for all the parents here. One big advice for all the parents with respect to university application process.
Start early. Start early. I can't overemphasize that point. Start early. And yeah, I mean, build your activities now. Start building. I mean, not happen at the last moment, because you need to write about them. You will write what you have done. Can't just bluff through everything. Maybe just exaggerate what you have done. But you need to do that to actually, start building your.
Yes, I totally understand the way you have responded. This is, a parent, a mother talking very naturally, and this is coming from her. Start early because you have gone through that process, and she has actually worked with Akhil, the professor who is doing all this work with us, and that's her advice. One big advice, looking back for the students out there, not for the parents.
Definitely stay ahead of things. I know your parents are there to help you, but do not depend on them. If something goes wrong, it's your fault. It's not your parents' fault.
I'd like one thing with data now that you
It's so.
Yes, so
what is your
so
experience? First year.
It's been 3 months and it's been great because academic life is fun, student life is fun.
and you're American already. But that's a great point he is making. That ye shayad ye bolne ki koshish kar raha ho that at the end of the day, the buck would lie with you. तुमने नहीं किया, तुमको बोला था, right? That's what you're saying. So the advice to students is though there are counselors, there are mentors, there are parents, but you should take initiative and work towards your application.
I will also say,
Yes.
through each step of your application, each step of the process, just keep asking yourself the one question: how am I different from others? It doesn't matter how amazing you are if you're different from someone else. It's going to be a toss up. So, if you're different from others, present yourself as learn differently from others, you think differently.
Beautiful, very good. Kavya, one big advice, and then sir for parents, and you go first for students.
I think since you're not now, I can give my main advice would be, of course, do your best for all colleges, but don't fall in love with one college. Don't, because have dream college. Okay, I want to go to my target. but don't fall in love with one college, because at the end of the day, you will do your best for many colleges, and absolutely you should give it your all, but it may not come through. And it's not the end of the world, because all colleges you go to, they are going to be the infrastructure, you'll have the research, professors, your social life, it's going to be great, yeah. So don't give everything to just one. Work hard, but then leave it up to fate.
And avoid heartbreaks.
Yeah.
If you give it to
Don't-
one, then
don't get
there
it.
are heartbreaks. Yes. Good, interesting. Sir,
No, I already said it. I think which is start early, I would say please stay involved.
involved.
It's a very rough process for the kids, and you just have to know what's going to, what's happening. And I think there's no excuse, because YouTube is there, and anything you type, all the information is available to all of you. Of course, you need the counselor, so you stay involved.
Thank you so much. And I think these were pearls of wisdom. We couldn't have put it in this way, that the way you have done for us, for them. And so this is what we did. I think we'll take 2 minutes if you permit. And we'll take, let's say 3 or 4 questions if there are any from the audience. So you go first. How many questions?
So, right, so I think I had, as we said, I think we discussed it a little bit. Your application process is divided into early and regular. So early, I applied to some of the state schools and of course got my for a decision. So that was maybe 4 or 5 colleges and the UCs as well. Luckily for me, I got through with my early decision, but otherwise I would then apply to maybe 5 or 10 more regular decision applications as well. So I have those ready, but now I won't be using them.
So I want you to respond to this question. Generally, kitna apply karta hai?
But before that, let's take, you applied to, Akhil has applied to 12.
Yeah.
He applied to 12.
Yeah, you take down the exam.
Oh, together. Or it's applied to,
Applied to 8 plus the UC.
so that's 9.
Nine.
So in general, the standard golden rule is 10. There's no limit on it, but 10 is a good enough number. Some people do 15, some people do 20, some people do 25, but it's then very time consuming. So, 10 is a good optimized number.
How many more essays you need to write?
So
So
10
that's
is
the
a,
main challenge, other than.
10 is a good number.
Yeah, I know sir will say 10 is a good number. I have my view on this, I haven't worked with myself, yes, but I think you need, it's become a game of chance now. And a game of chance doesn't mean that you apply to 50 colleges and you get into one of the countries. But to answer your question, I think if it was 10 4 years ago before COVID, because test option is other things, I think it is probably increased by 50% now, from 15. If it was 15 a few years ago, yeah, because UC is one app, and if you apply UC as one, oh, you consider UC as one, you consider 15 at least. Yeah.
We consider UC as one.
Yeah, but then I would say 15 at least. I know it was different many years ago, but I think it's changing, and if you can do 15, that's best.
So there is one rule in US applications. What they say is the only way to not get is to not apply. So if you have a dream school or you feel that this is just not approachable or right, but still apply. I mean, there's no, at least you won't have the regret that you haven't applied.
Don't apply, don't get.
If you don't apply, you don't get. So,
Right. Thank you. We'll take one more question. Anyone? Madam.
What is target period?
So let's sir, EA आप अपने talk में लीजिए.
I will, technically I'll explain.
Any other question? Madam.
What's different? India and US.
About education or student? Right. Okay, so education wise, I would say what's most different is you have complete control over what you're learning, the order in which you're learning, how you're learning it. So, for example, every quarter, so every 3 months, I get to choose which course I want to take. So if I'm an econ student, if I'm bored with econ, I can just say I want to do a logic course and just not study econ for the next year. It's all up to you. You get to decide your timetable, you get to decide when you want to go to classes. So I have friends who have classes at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. All my classes end before 4, so after that I'm free to do my own stuff. So I have 8 a.m. classes, some people are 8 p.m. It's the flexibility. Plus, also, I personally believe that every professor tries their best to really make their course material interesting. So, for example, I had a biology class. So I had a cancer biology class. And the professor, his research is centered around curing cancer. His mom was diagnosed with cancer and unfortunately passed away. So he is someone who is invested in the subject, he is good at it, and he tries his best to make his students feel the subject. Yeah. I'd say all the professors are somewhat similar in that.
So, madam, I want to add to your question. इस बच्चे को पढ़ाया हुआ है SAT में क्लास में पढ़ाया हुआ है और अभी 3 महीने और क्या है very sincere, calm, थोड़ा सा shy. That's how I know of all. अभी जब ये बोल रहा है 3 महीने रह गया, I cannot tell you how proud I am feeling. वो रोंगटे खड़े हो रहे हैं जब ये बोल रहा है. I'm so proud of him कि कितना अच्छा बोल रहा है. The way he's articulating, the confidence that ये exhibit कर रहा है, phenomenal. एक चीज तो पक्का है. ये बहुत कम होता है.
I have so I know two friends who started working in like coffee shops and something. I don't want to work at a time. Yes. But I got like a few research opportunities in the econ lab. So I had like 2 or 3 sessions with them. Like they pay you like $20 to $40 for like 1 hour. So I had like a few sessions, but I don't have like a regular job right now. I might start. I think. Yeah, for sure. You don't have to, it's optional for sure, but it is better for, let's say, cash. Also, you earn a bit. So.
Right. Thank you so much. So we hand it over to you, Anubhav sir, and before that, thank you, Dr. Maladi, Jay sir, Kavya, and Oristro for coming down and spending time with us. Thank you, Anirban sir, for bringing Oristro here and for all your support and love always for us. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. You're good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. I'll catch you later.
Sorry, let's get started with our next session. Now, this is the technical session where you heard it from, we structured it this way because I think the best is experience. When you hear it from them, you really come to know how it is. So rather than me telling you, that's how I structured it. Now in my next session, what I have is essentially what kind of help UT would provide. And we will also answer your technical questions, whatever you have. So, so we at Universal Tutorials, primarily how we can help you from here onwards. We have 2 kinds of products. We've given you a folder, all of it is in this folder also. So I am now immediately getting into, we have 2 kinds of products which are available. One, we'll be focusing on profile building. Profile building क्या है वो मैं अभी slides में समझाऊंगा. And second, application support. So we have 2 products which are available, and both these products are essentially one-on-one products. We would be talking to you one-on-one basis whenever we talk on these products. So each of these products are one-on-one products. It would not be the class में कोई address होगा. It will always be a one-on-one thing. Now ये क्या है? What is profile building? Profile building, I think all of you must have understood it's a personality development. आप काय के लिए करोगे? You will do it for your personality development and to stand out from the others. ये इसके लिए करोगे. So, they are not really looking only at an SAT. SAT, unlike India, IIT में जहाँ पे आपका 8 score है, NEET में आपका 1 score है. Somehow there it's not just 1 score. It is multiple things. So they look at a larger thing of your profile. कि आपके पास academics के अलावा और क्या है? That makes a huge difference. So that's why profile building is important. अब in 11th grade, profile building में हम आपकी कैसे help कर सकते हैं? Is we can advise you on certain things, like some people can pick up course certifications, Coursera, edX, MIT. उस पे once you decided आपका major क्या है, आप कुछ एक्स्ट्रा कोर्सेज कर सकते हो ओवर एंड अबव योर स्कूल करिकुलम. So we can help you with course certifications. We can help you with other exams. There's advanced placement exams which happen in the month of May. So अब we can help you इसको register करें, इसके लिए पढ़ाई करें. How do you do that? We can advise you based on majors. ये क्या होते हैं वो सब हम प्रोफाइल बिल्डिंग में आपकी हेल्प कर सकते हैं. We can help you in publishing research. कि भाई आप किसी एक पर्टिकुलर मेजर में आप एक रिसर्च पब्लिश करोगे प्राइवेट जर्नल्स, एंड ऐसा नहीं है कि वो नहीं कर सकते. You can get associated top and you can publish your research. Are students doing that? Yes, there are students who are doing that. So now हम इसमें क्या कर रहे हैं? हम आपके लिए रिसर्च नहीं करेंगे, हम आपके लिए एडवांस प्लेसमेंट एग्जाम नहीं देंगे. We will only act as guidance where we will दिशा दिखाएंगे कि ये है, आप ये कर सकते हो, and we will take you. करना सब आपको है, because this is something which I cannot or any of us cannot. But then we'll give you all these avenues. We can give you places where they offer internships. So we'll guide you. आपको apply करना पड़ेगा. जरूरी नहीं है सब करना. You may decide कि मैं इनमें से ये दो चीज करूँ. मैं इनमें से, and the idea is not breadth. The idea is depth. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि सब कुछ होना चाहिए. नहीं, एक या दो चीजें हैं, और मैं काव्या का समझाऊंगा या अखिल का समझाऊंगा एक एक करके. कम्युनिटी वर्क. So we have certain NGOs which are tied up and we can take you to those NGOs. तो आप भी किसी NGO में आप जानते हो तो आप भी कर सकते हैं. We can give you a guidance on NGOs कि कम्युनिटी वर्क आप कैसे कर सकते हैं. सोशल मीडिया. सोशल मीडिया आजकल बच्चे खुद बहुत अपने आप ही सब चीजें करते हैं. तो मालूम पड़ा जैसे काव्या had her own YouTube channel on YouTube. Kavya had her own, my younger boy, Anuj has his own YouTube channel and he's doing, और उसमें बहुत बोलना भी पड़ता है. Yourself उसको बोलना पड़ता है मत कर, आज YouTube मत कर. They are very उनकी hobby है. So does that count towards your profile building? Absolutely yes, it counts towards your profile. There are summer programs which are available in India, and there are summer programs available outside India. Where you can go. अब ये summer program की बहुत एक अच्छी चीज है. Again, we would suggest. जैसे Kavya had gone to a summer program to UCSB, University of California at Santa Barbara. My elder son Yash had gone to Harvard. My younger son, हम उसमें भी आपको एडवाइस कर सकते हैं. You can do that summer programs in India. You can do that summer programs abroad. अब उसमें हम क्या करेंगे? हम सिर्फ avenues आपको बताएंगे. Avenues बता के then you need to pick. बार-बार मैं उस पर स्ट्रेस कर रहा हूँ. And let me just pick this up over here. There are some others. कुछ आप projects कर सकते हो आपके स्कूल में, आपको sports, extracurricular, all of these you can do it. These are many more. So again, I would reiterate, the idea is not breadth. The idea is depth. You may pick up one or two, and if you are good in that, that's fine. ऐसा कुछ जरूरी नहीं. So, अब इसको हम करते कैसे हैं? What is our profile building process? Our profile building process is a step process where we first do data capturing. So हम इसमें data capture करते हैं. So आपसे, and then we do an analysis. Me and Manish and Shruti, our team, we would do your analysis, and then we would map it to you. आपके लिए क्या सही है? We prepare a report and then we would create an advisory report. This is what we think you can do, and this would be something which is sort of specialized, tailor-made only for you. So ऐसी हम एक advisory report करेंगे. Now this profile building का जो product है, how we've structured, you could, if you started with us in 9th or 10th, then we do about 2 reviews per year. तो इधर आप मेरे ये देखेंगे 2 in 9th, 2 in 10th, 3 in 11th, and 1 in 12th. ऐसे 4 साल का रहेगा, and we would help you over the period of 4 years. Now, people who start with us in 11th, start of 11th, then we would do 3 reviews. Now, आप सब लोग, you are coming in this category where you are start of 12th में हो, then we would do 1 review. अपने पास उतना समय नहीं है, we will guide you we would do one review and we are very close, अब 11th almost end होने वाला है, so we would do one review in a year and उसके ऊपर आपको advise करके we would take it forward. So this is how the profile building process would be. One review meaning एक advisory report create करके आपको बता देंगे these are all the things, and आपने बोला कि सर हमको AP courses करने हैं, okay we give you the कब कब AP के registrations हो रहे हैं, क्या आपको करना है, आपने बोला summer program करना है, summer कौन से programs कर सकते हैं, उनके कौन से websites हैं, we would research for you and give it to you. So जो आपने data हमको दिया and what all we discussed, उसके ऊपर we do a one review and we will help. So this is about profile building we can help you with. Now very quickly let's come to university application. University application जैसे सबने बोला, we've been doing university application now for almost 6 years, and believe me, for us also it was a learning. लेकिन इस साल university application हमने Shruti is the one who has been involved with us in our team. I think we are sitting right now in the month of December. In November हमारे जितने बच्चे थे, this year we have finished university application सबकी लग चुकी है. And जैसे आरुद्रो वाले बैच में है, still waiting in the month of December. Our experience is fantastic experience. Because जितना जल्दी हो जाता है उससे फायदा क्या होता है, उससे फायदा एक तो ये हो रहा है वो बच्चे जल्दी कर लेते हैं, they get time for their standard and the IIT preparation, तो उसमें वो interfere नहीं तो as you push it into the month of December, January उधर push. दूसरा एक बहुत बड़ा mental फायदा मिलता है, इस वो खत्म हो गया, इनको सबको admit कर, so they are all relieved कि मेरा एक definite admit आ गया है, आगे और admit आते रहेंगे, लेकिन now on 12th standard में focus, so they are not tense, kids are not. ये बहुत बड़ा फायदा है. तो ये यूनिवर्सिटी एप्लीकेशन का हमारा प्रोसेस क्या है? यूनिवर्सिटी एप्लीकेशन इज अगेन, इसको मैं थोड़ा सा ऐसे लेता हूं, बिकॉज वी स्टार्ट विद अ प्रोफाइल असेसमेंट. हम आपका प्रोफाइल देखते हैं, देन हम आपका रेज्यूमे बिल्ड करते हैं, देन वी क्रिएट अ बेस्ट फिट यूनिवर्सिटी का आपका ग्राफ बनाते हैं आपके लिए. अगेन ऑल ऑफ इट इज टेलर्ड. देन व्हाट वी डू इज वी स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन विद योर एसओपी, स्टेटमेंट ऑफ पर्पस, कि आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी के क्या क्या एसओपी है, सारी यूनिवर्सिटी के अलग अलग होंगे. देन वी गेट इन LORs, लेटर ऑफ recommendations. 3 LORs are required. Then we file the application. फिर we help you with loans and scholarship. अगर आपको loans चाहिए we connect you with SBI bank. Scholarships भी वो help करते हैं. And then finally अगर I-20 is a document that comes from the university after your admit, तो I-20 है. So this is the complete process we help you in these individual blocks. आपके कुछ questions होंगे, I'll be more than happy to take the questions. But अब इसको हम करते कैसे हैं? How do we do this entire thing? UT application team, it's primarily the student who's at the center of our process. Then there are mentors. Mentors are like me and Munisa. And what are we doing? We are working on mapping the university system. There are about 5,000 universities. You could go to US, you could go to UK, you could go to Canada, you could go to. आप कहीं में भी जा सकते हैं. कौन से मेजर में जा सकते हैं? आपका बजट क्या है? There are so many variables. So we work with a universe of more than 5,000 universities. So उस 5,000 को अपन को break down करके we have to come to 10, 15, 20 universities से आना है. वो कैसे आए? So that's where university selection and application start. That's the first thing which we do. Which me, Manish, closely work, understand your requirement, and then we do this. Second is our content expert. Like we have Mrs. Nandini Sinha, we have a panel of English help. These are experts on writing. No, ये आपको लिख के नहीं देंगे. A lot of time हमारे इधर विरोधाभास होता है. तो मैडम ने तो लिखा ही नहीं कुछ. मैडम नहीं लिखेगी. अगर मैडम लिखेंगी, आपका होने वाला एडमिशन नहीं होगा. वो प्लेजराइज हो जाए. लिखना आपको. Madam would help you in कि आपने जो लिखा है उसको मैडम improve कर. But for writing, अच्छा believe me, जैसे मैं इस बाल सफेद हो गए 20 साल से बच्चों को, मैं कौन हूँ? मैं साधारण मैथ्स का प्रोफेसर हूँ, बच्चों को 10वीं कक्षा में मैथ्स पढ़ाता हूँ. आप बिलीव करेंगे, मैं जब यहाँ पे क्लास में मैथ्स पढ़ाता हूँ, बच्चों का होमवर्क चेक करता हूँ, तो आजकल अपना होमवर्क को ऐसे बुक उठा के जांचता मचता नहीं, तो तुम खोलो जरा बुक यहीं पे, मैं क्लास में ऐसे घूमता हूँ. तो बुक के उसके अक्षर लिखे हुए दूर से यहाँ से 5 फीट दूर से उन्हें नहीं करा कॉपी. So 99.9% time I'm correct. ऐसे ही वो जो एसेस पढ़ रहे हैं वहां पे आधे एक्सपर्ट दे आर एक्सपर्ट, आपको ही एसेस लिखने हैं, although the content person is there, so they will help you in essay writing. Now it's a dedicated panel. We have about 4 people on our panel, and every 2-3 students are assigned to one teacher, and the teacher works on you on a one-on-one basis on writing your essays, LORs, and activities. So this is the second team member who helps you. And then finally is our coordinator, Mr. Shruti, who's essentially doing your application tracking, coordination, filing, सबके साथ tie करने का काम is our person again on a one-on-one basis. As I said, औरतों का हुआ था, where we learned our lessons. So we would advise you कि भाई ये slow चल रहा है, ये fast चल रहा है, we keep you in the loop so that you don't miss any deadlines. We are on time. So ऐसे करके ये पूरा process है which completes the 360 degree, and that's the application support we do. इसी के अंदर अब ये छोटा सा, this is something we at me, Manish and Shruti have developed over a period of time, and this is something मैं इसके बारे में बहुत ज्यादा proud feel करता हूँ. We've developed एक sample, एक graph आपको दिखाना चाहता हूँ, quality versus chance का graph हमने बनाया. So ऐसे universities बन के आती हैं, and if you spend 2 minutes on it, कि ये जो x-axis है, x-axis is quality. हम सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज को वेरियस पैरामीटर्स भी सब्सक्राइब टू डेटाबेस ऑफ यूएस यूनिवर्सिटी, यूएस न्यूज़, इन सब का सब्सक्रिप्शन लिया है, एंड देयर यू गेट डेटा मिलता है एसएटी के क्या स्कोर में 25th and 75th परसेंटाइल में एडमिट्स मिले, क्या एक्सेप्टेंस रेट, क्या ट्यूशन है, कौन से स्टेट में है, कौन सी छोटी जगह है, बड़ी जगह है, ऐसे बहुत सारा डेटा मिलता है. उस डेटा के बेसिस पे वी क्रिएट अ क्वालिटी स्कोर ऑन, हमने 0 से 3 का स्केल बनाया, नॉट 0 से 3, 1 से 3 का स्केल बनाया. 1 से 3 के स्केल में एक्स एक्सिस पे यूनिवर्सिटी. तो इसका क्या मतलब है, यूनिवर्सिटीज व्हिच आर ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड ऑफ द एक्स एक्सिस आर वेरी हाई ऑन पॉइंट, एंड यूनिवर्सिटीज व्हिच आर ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड आर रिलेटिवली लोअर ऑफ. देन वी क्रिएट अ चांस ग्राफ ऑन द वाई एक्सिस. चांसेस, कितना चांस है उस बच्चे का एडमिट. नाउ चांस के वेरियस पैरामीटर्स हैं, आपका एसएटी स्कोर, आपका जीपीए, वो यूनिवर्सिटी डेटा दे रही है, उन्होंने कितने एसएटी पे बच्चों को एडमिट किया, कितने बच्चों को जीपीए पे एडमिट किया, क्या टोटल स्कोर, क्या आईआईटीएस स्कोर, वो सब डेटा है. उस डेटा पे रिग्रेस करके वी कम टू नो चांस. दिस इज लोअर चांस, दिस इज हायर. सो व्हाट आर दीज, ये क्या है, ये फनल्स हैं. दीज आर यूनिवर्सिटीज व्हिच आर right side of the x-axis. They are very high on quality but very low on chance. So we call them as a dream funnel. अब जैसे अपन इधर ऊपर मूव करते हैं, this is a funnel which is high on quality, not as high as this. We've moved left of the x-axis, but our chance has improved. तो इनमें chance है अच्छा, 50-60% chance है. We call them as aspire universities. We call them as equal universities. And as we move up, we say these are sure shot universities. So ऐसे हम funnel बनाते हैं हर बच्चे. And then we ask you कि okay, इसमें से 1-2 पिक करो, इसमें से 2-3 पिक करो, इसमें से 3-4 पिक करो, इसमें से 2-3, so that ऐसा नहीं होगा कि we'll be left with. तो generally हम बच्चों को बोलते हैं 10 यूनिवर्सिटी. तो 10 में से at least अपने पास, I think we've started doing it better and better. This year, I think we've not yet got any rejects in the early decision. Now, what is early decision and what is this? मैं आपको 2 मिनट समझा देता हूँ. Now, there are 2 windows. Most of the universities have largely 2 windows. One window is which closes October 31st, and one window which is called as the early deadline. उसके decisions, as we speak right now, ये चालू बच्चे हैं. इसमें से और ये काव्य और अखिल लौटा भी खड़े बच्चे, इनको सबको 15 दिसंबर के आसपास तक इनको डिसीजन आ जाएगा कि whether they have been admitted or not. Second window is when you apply to the same set of universities by 31st of December. That's a regular. अब आप 31st of December तक अप्लाई करोगे तो आपको डिसीजन मार्च 15 तक, मार्च 15, मार्च 20 तक. That is called as regular. So there are 2 windows. One is an early window, which deadline is October 31st. You get decisions. So by December 15th, regular window up to 31st of December, get decisions by 15th of March. Put folder स्ट्रैटेजी क्या होती है? इसकी स्ट्रैटेजी इज, हमने आज से 2 साल पहले अगर आप मेरे से पूछते हो हमारी स्ट्रैटेजी बहुत, जैसे काव्या ने कि उसने 4-5 को अप्लाई किया and she is holding on to the remaining and वो रेगुलर में कर, ऐसा हम एडवाइस करते हैं कि अगर एक मिल गया तो बाकी को अपन अप्लाई भी, बट वी लर्न ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम। अब हम एडवाइस करते हैं अपना जो भी 10 आते हैं 10 को अपन को अक्टूबर में चालू करके, अक्टूबर में, अच्छा 31 अक्टूबर है, दैट डजंट मीन यू टू प्लान 31 अक्टूबर, कैन वी फिनिश ऑन 15 अक्टूबर, अपन 15 अक्टूबर को लगा के and then spend time for your rest. This is what I will do. फिर रेगुलर में आए किसमें आए तो सब अपन बाकी देखते रहेंगे, अपना तो ही अप्लाई करके करना। This is what is our simple thing. Let me just quickly complete.
Sir,
Yes.
what are the pros and cons of early application?
Pros and cons. Chances of you getting an admit in early is slightly higher statistically, slightly, but ये मेरा सिर्फ एक perception है, I cannot say for sure, but मेरे से आप सबसे बड़ा pro पूछिए, the pro is you are done early, mentally आप बहुत peace हो जाते हो at peace, that is the biggest pro. और आप जल्दी खत्म कर रहे हो तो इंडियन सिनेरियो में बिकॉज अब ये IIT का एग्जाम जनवरी में होगा, 12th का बोर्ड होएगा, तो दैट इज द बिगेस्ट। कैन आई थिंक ऑफ अ कॉन? कॉन इज ओनली कि आपको थोड़ा सा जल्दी प्रिपेयर करना हो, दैट्स इट, दैट्स अ कॉन। देखो कोई कॉन एक्चुअली कुछ देखी है
From a leadership perspective, then why do they keep different dates?
ओके, व्हाई डू दे कीप 2 डिफरेंट डेट्स? सर जैसे इफ यू वुड हैव सीन मिस्टर जय, उन्होंने एक शब्द यूज करा था, डेमोक्रेटाइजेशन ऑफ एजुकेशन। So universities are also keen on having the best students at their campus. So आज India में, see it's a supply and demand situation. India में we have very high demand and very low supply. So universities को बच्चे बहुत आराम से मिलते हैं, but there it's the other way around. They have very high supply, low demand in that sense. So are good students in demand? Yes. तो ये अर्ली का खेल है कि वो उन्होंने अगर अच्छे बच्चे को अर्ली में किया, he would not get into another university. It's a democratization. That's why problem. Because universities are also interested कि हम अर्ली बच्चे को अपने पास रोक लें तो वो फिर assured हो जाएगा। अब जैसे इसने कॉर्नेल में किया, ED मिला है कॉर्नेल, अब ये कहीं और भी कर रही है। Could she have got into Harvard or could she have got into Princeton? Probably yes. बट कॉर्नेल में उसको अर्ली करके, अच्छा ये लोग है ना इसमें बंदिशें भी डाल देते हैं, 2-3 तरह के होते हैं, अर्ली डिसीजन, अर्ली एप्लीकेशन। अर्ली डिसीजन है जैसे अगर हमने आपको दे दिया फिर आप कहीं और नहीं जाओगे, तो इसलिए और नहीं अप्लाई किया, तो could she have been a notch higher and probably got into Harvard? Maybe, but इन्होंने भी प्ले करा, इन्होंने हार्वर्ड के लिए कॉर्नेल, बिकॉज दे थॉट कि हार्वर्ड में तो हार्वर्ड में शायद नहीं मिलेगा, लेकिन कॉर्नेल में मिल जाएगा। It's worked brilliantly for both of them. So these are some of the things which I can say. Yes, sir. Question.
I apply to postal universities. When I'm doing it in the regular, I apply since
नहीं सर, मैं तो कह रहा हूँ 10 अप्लाई करो। One strategy could be 3 in early and remaining 7 in regular. That is one strategy. Second strategy is 10 के 10 early में करो। नहीं तो 10 में तो ऑलरेडी आपने हेज कर दिया है। कुछ में सेम होता है, कुछ में अलग होता है। तो व्हेन वी क्रिएट अ बेस्ट फिट यूनिवर्सिटी, श्रुति मैम आपको सारे एसेस का एक लॉग बना के देती है कि इसमें यही है, ऐसे बनाने। There are 3 types of decision आपको आप एडिशन अप्लाई करते हैं, एडमिशन, रिजेक्शन या फिर रेफरमेंट टू रेगुलर। जब आप एडिशन अप्लाई करते हो तो ऐसा होता है कि आप रिजेक्ट हो जाते हो अगर नहीं आया एडमिशन, लेकिन खुद में रेगुलर आ जाए। तो ये जो आप ये प्रो पूछ रहे थे एडिशन अप्लाई करते हैं, प्रो ये भी है दैट दे मे नॉट गिव यू एडमिशन एंड दे मे टेल यू वी विल कंसीडर यू इन रेगुलर साइकिल।
तो मित्र साहब वो आया वेरीफाइड डॉक्यूमेंट है, इसलिए क्या रेगुलर में अलग से अप्लाई करना है, नहीं करना है। Rejections come in regular side.
दो तीन महीने में सब कुछ कॉलेज किया हो
Good question, a very good question. So it does happen, it happened with my son. I said, he did an ED with Cornell. He did not get an ED with Cornell. So Cornell in December, like, Kavya got an admit, Yash did not get an admit, Yash got a referral. And he was said, now we will consider your application the regular side. And उसके साथ उनका नोट आया जो आपने बोला अगर आपका since you applied from October 31st से लेकर अभी तक कुछ अगर और changes आए हैं या कोई नए news हैं you want to add on to your application, they provided a window until February 15 and उन्होंने बोला February 15 तक आप वो लिखते थे वो जिला कॉलेज में लिखा है अगर वो रेफर रहा then they ask you to provide one additional part. It could be an LOR from a teacher. It could be one additional information from you. It allows all of that. And वो February 10th तक आपको February 10th February 15 तक आप हाँ मैडम ऐसा कभी भी कोई भी यूनिवर्सिटी नहीं करती यूनिवर्सिटी University will let you know whether they have rejected, whether they have accepted, or whether they have deferred. जैसा भी होगा सब बहुत फ्लावरी वर्ड लेटर्स आते हैं वो लेटर लिख के लगता है यार मेरे को ही एड्रेस किया है I'm sure they have some methods of doing it but yes आता है
like for example corner में हार्वर्ड में दोनों में अप्लाई किया होगा और दोनों के वाले
नहीं आप ऐसा कर ही नहीं सकते because early decision is binding so you have to decide that's where we help you to decide कि अपन इसी में करेंगे दूसरे में किसी में
so only one can say
ED early application is allowed early application is not binding ये सब जब आप when you would do one-on-one counseling with us we'll be able to actually guide you कि आप किस में कर सकते हो किस में नहीं कर सकते हो वो सब डेटा हम आपसे बात करेंगे हम आपसे बताएंगे आपकी प्रोफाइल देख के we will see now we have two kinds of packages you would have realized till now by now this is a good amount of job so we have two kinds of packages we call them as an economical package jahan pe there are some students who would say nahi we want to only apply to 4 units so you could take so that's slightly and either we would not do the quality versus chance graph we would give you 4 universities based on our experience and we could do that so that's economical package and you could take a full service package with we do up to 10 universities. You want to do more than 10, there is an incremental cost. You can share that incremental cost and because every university of private, there is a cost associated where we also have to work in. So and there we would do that quality versus chance graph. हम वो सब कुछ आपके साथ करेंगे. So these are the two things which you do. And आज we are having a where you know अगर for fall to 24 admit students अगर आप हमारा full service package लेते हैं then the profile building would come as complement because that is now कोई बहुत ज़्यादा समय बचा नहीं है तो we will guide you तो जितना समय बचा है उतना हम उसमें हम profile building would be part of the full service so I think with that I come to the last if you have more questions please raise hands and ask and that is also open to our online guests also. Before I take up for questions, you know, if you want to take appointment, you can take us. You can call up Surjit. This is her number. Fix an appointment with me or Manish, and we will help you decide. And you can enroll with us. Surjit's number is 9888-199-826 utnmsurjit@gmail.com. Now we are available for any questions that you have, all of you. Thank you very much. Any questions? So, you know, we would go first with the offline parents any questions? Yes.
If the child is not sure, because what is the path?
This is the path as part of application वो first उसमें I would say ये तीनों जन जो बैठे थे. This boy Oliver से चालू करूँगा. Oliver was part of MIT engineering करने की बात करता. इसके साथ debate कर करके discuss किया and realize करा engineering is not his forte. इसको economics करने का. So both was part of that. So वो discover किया. अब मैं काव्या का बोलूँगा. काव्या का my son had done मतलब Mr. Jay came to me. मेरे बेटा इनसे exactly 2 साल senior है. So my son went through this path. ये सब study abroad का काम मैंने largely जब मेरा बेटा आ रहा था, that's when I started doing this. तो मेरे बेटे के साथ बहुत सारे trials हुए थे. He was part of our integrated batch. वो उसमें beauty champions के हमारे integrated batch का बच्चा था. ये 15-10 हम dream कर रहे थे वो सब profile building वगैरह सब करी थी हमने सब कुछ करी थी. But then we जो हमारे experiences से हुए थे, जैसे मैंने जो बात बोली major का, he was keen कि पापा मेरे को computer science नहीं apply करना. Could I convince him? I couldn't convince him. He said, "Now it's his life." जैसे Oliver ने बोला, at the end of the day, it's their life. So I said, "It's your life." So he decided on his own. काव्या के साथ I shared my experience. I said, "बेटा, the computer science का कुछ छोड़ देती है, and you apply to Cornell, being a girl student, we worked with her, and she agreed to apply for mechanics." And I think that made it work. Now, admit क्या आया है? Admit आया है College of Engineering, Cornell. She can go there and decide उसको क्या करना है. So this is something which is जो आप major का पूछ रहे हैं, major का वो जो मैंने पहले बोला, as part of our application, तो सबसे पहली talk करते हैं is we talk on major. We do that and we help you to come to a decision on what major and what strategy you do. अब जैसे काव्या ने करा, Cornell में भी apply for mechanical, Purdue में भी apply for computer science. And उसके essays वगैरह वैसे ही लिखे हम. We did it that way. So this is what is your question on major. बहुत ज़्यादा फर्क नहीं है.
Engineering stream project.
Engineering stream, and you're talking about physics, you're talking about mathematics. तो आपने वैसे करा.
We have got it.
नहीं सही है. UCs are SAT. UCs are currently SAT. But it's only those 9 schools which are SAT. Because to UCs and now school here to SAT.
Primary teaching other.
They give an option. You want to submit an SAT score or you don't want to submit an SAT score. तो अब उधर कौन बच्चा SAT score submit नहीं करना चाहेगा जिसके पास probably is a national level tennis player, is a national level football player. वो शायद SAT score submit नहीं करना चाहे. लेकिन अपन Indians अपने पास extra curriculars उतनी बड़ी नहीं है तो अपने पास differentiating factor है SAT score. तो मैं submit करना चाहूँगा SAT score. So except UC schools, अच्छा UC schools, they say they are SAT, they are SAT.
Yes, UCs are
SAT. UCs are SAT. Remaining all of them say recommended, not necessary. Yes.
Yes. So आप दोनों भी क्वेश्चन करें मिसेस कुलकर्णी व्हाट यू आस्क. मैडम एक ब्रॉड आपने या तो आपने इंजीनियरिंग या साइंसेस या सोशल साइंसेस कुछ आपने वो डिसाइड किया होगा. जैसे वरुण रवानी सर बोल रहे थे. So Varun Ravani knows that he wants to do engineering, but what engineering is not sure.
Stream is that engineering ये पता नहीं.
ये भी पता नहीं. ये decision लेने के लिए you should talk and you should come to.
We have to
Because
come.
what happens is when you apply to school, we are also telling them university, we are also telling them which school in that university they are applying. ये broad clarity लेके आएंगे. अब उसमें major specific नहीं है, so we can go understand. And that is very well accepted popular choice है ये. हमारे यहाँ ऐसा बोलते हैं कि कोई नहीं पता किसमें इंजीनियरिंग करना है. But वहाँ पे एक common thing है. You say I have not decided. Let me study first. वो जरूरी है. Main major discipline जरूरी है. उसका major can be decided.
But I've also heard कि correct किया है. उसका 4 साल तक decide भी नहीं. It was a gap.
हाँ, वो मैंने कैसे है? Okay. But that's a rare case. But I'll tell you कैसे है? बच्चे कुछ overwhelmed हो जाते हैं because वहाँ पे freedom बहुत ज़्यादा मिल जाता है. But ये cases कम है, बहुत कम है.
मैंने एक केस ऐसा देखा है वर्जीनिया टेक में. हमारा बच्चा गया डिसाइड ही नहीं कर पाया 4 साल की जनरल इंजीनियरिंग लेके पढ़ा, दैट वाज फॉर जनरल इंजीनियरिंग, ना प्रोडक्शन ना कंप्यूटर्स, बट एक केस हमने देखा तो जैसा सर बोले बहुत रेयर है।
So the countries we work with is UK, Canada. These are the second big countries. Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, Germany. These are some of the countries which we have. Singapore है, Singapore NIUS दो यूनिवर्सिटी है, NUS and NIU. बच्चों की application करते हैं जब very tough. उसके लिए what you need is 12th standard board exam में 98% and above. तो ही आपको एडमिशन मिलेगा। तो उसकी एप्लीकेशन एक छोटा सा अलग प्रोसेस है, मार्च में आप अप्लाई करोगे, वो भी LORs मांगते हैं, सब मांगते हैं, बट वो लोग डिसीजन ऐसे नहीं देते हैं। मार्च में आपको एप्लीकेशन सबमिट करनी है, जून में आपका 12th CBSE का रिजल्ट आएगा, दैट रिजल्ट गोज टू देम, जुलाई में उनके एडमिट डिसीजंस आते हैं। वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट इनटेक इज योर 12th CBSE मार्क्स, योर 12th स्टेट और 12th CBSE, योर 12th स्टैंडर्ड मार्क्स। तो जनरल थंब रूल इज 97-98% होगा तो ही मिलेगा एडमिशन। They are academically extremely oriented.
Another question. Is there any chance of giving learning?
Absolutely, बहुत सारे हैं। वो again depend करता है, जैसे my son is looking to look at 2 majors, computer science and environmental science. वो बात कर रहा है, कई सारे बच्चे करते हैं।
Technical plus management.
सारे बहुत सारे चांस, वो आपको वहाँ का स्टूडेंट एडवाइजर एडवाइस करता है। कई बार आप हैंडल कर सकते हो तो डिपेंड करेगा, कई बार आप हैंडल नहीं कर सकते। Do people do it? Yes.
जर्मनी आपने बोला तो जर्मन लैंग्वेज मैनेजमेंट।
Yes. Okay, we'll take some courses, questions from the online people. Any question from your online audience?
Chinmay, Mr. Ganesh, any question from you?
Yeah, there is a question from my side. When in the early admits, when they say confirmed admission, when the actual confirmation or finance has to be provided, is it March or is it December?
Okay, so when they say confirmed admission, though you have not asked it, question ये है कि जब confirmed admission आ गया, तो finances कब provide करना है, उसी समय मार्च में या किसी और point पे? So let us understand, वो आपको एक confirmation भेजेंगे, सर आप ऐड कीजिएगा, मैं डील कर रहा हूँ। So वो आपको एक confirmation भेजेंगे और आपको admission confirm करना है by first week of May, by first में आपको confirm करना है। तो आपको admission decision आ गया, अभी आ गया, you have 3 months or so to decide whether you really want to go to that particular university or not. आप जब confirm करेंगे तो उसके बाद एक confirmation amount आपको देना पड़ेगा. It could be anywhere between $400 to $2,000. फिर जैसा सर ने बताया I-20 का प्रोसेस, तो हमको उसमें कुछ फाइनेंशियल डॉक्यूमेंट्स देने पड़ेंगे, वहां से I-20 आएगा, I-20 वीजा के नीचे आपको जो स्टूडेंट वीजा है उसमें वो लोग I-20 मांगेंगे, वो तब लगेगा। तो इनिशियल फर्स्ट अमाउंट वुड गो समटाइम इन May or something,
which could vary between $400 to $2,000 depending upon university to university, और फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर की फीस आपकी जाएगी सर जुलाई के महीने।
Okay, I understand. This question is considering the fact that a son is preparing JEE also and US admits also. So there is a balance we have to make. That's the question.
तो मई आप अप्रैल तक ये डिसीजन ले सकते हो।
Okay.
अप्रैल थर्ड वीक तक आप अपना डिसीजन ले सकते हो कि आपको जाना है या नहीं जाना।
Okay, understood.
और आज के सिनेरियो में तो ये बहुत अच्छा बैकअप प्लान है सर। अभी जनवरी में हो रहा है जेई मेंस, हमको पता चल जाएगा कितने पानी में है हम, तो वापस अप्रैल में हो रहा है, एंड देन यू कैन डिसाइड कि वो यूएस वाला ऑप्शन एक्सरसाइज करना है कि नहीं करना।
Okay.
तो मेरे पैसा देना पड़ेगा।
Okay. And second question is, a lot of US universities are coming to India also. They take sessions Saturdays, Sundays during certain cities, Mumbai, Pune. What is your advice? Whether to go for such on-the-spot admission process?
सर तो you please try to understand, ये जो आपने सवाल पूछा, there are 2 kinds of universities. One are merit universities and one are non-merit universities. जो मैंने supply demand की बात बोली, आज इंडिया में भी जैसे अब आप इंडिया में relate कर पाएंगे साहब, you are looking at IIT Bombay and you are looking at DY Patil here in Navi Mumbai.
Okay.
DY Patil में, if you go with a briefcase, आप जुलाई में भी जाओगे, you will get an admit. So that's a university. Is it a good university? Yes, it's a good university. कोई बुराई नहीं है. They have a beautiful campus, बहुत अच्छा सब कुछ है, but it's not one of those demanded universities. तो वहां पे आपको एक decent score होगा, तो आपको admit आराम से मिल जाएगा if you are willing to pay the fees and get admission over there. So that's the same thing about US or about foreign universities.
Okay.
There are
Understood.
many such universities जहां पे merit criteria उतना ज़्यादा selective नहीं है. They are willing to give you admission if you have decent things. तो अगर आपको उन universities में करना है, so आपके you are free. So you would never see a Harvard or a Cornell or a Princeton coming down from one of those things and offering you on-spot admissions. वो नहीं आ रहे हैं. You would always find the lower run universities which are not so much in demand. You would find them and आपको US news में देख सकते हैं. So आपकी choices are वो that what is you want to do. Now we are essentially इतनी सारी मेहनत कर रहे हैं for merit university. We are not wanting to get into the less demanded university. We are working for a good demanded university.
Okay. Understood. Thanks.
अग्रवाल जी आपका क्वेश्चन चिन्मय?
No, sir.
Okay. Any more questions? Yes and no. Answer is yes. TOEFL की जरूरत नहीं है. अपने CBSE वाले बच्चों को भी कई बच्चों को जरूरत नहीं होती डिपेंडिंग ऑन यूनिवर्सिटी टू यूनिवर्सिटी. SAT का स्कोर का इंग्लिश का अगर देना अब कितना 600 के ऊपर है तो जरूरत नहीं होती सब सर्टेन यूनिवर्सिटीज. बट मैडम क्या होता है हम कहते हैं कि TOEFL देके खत्म करो तो जब वो यूनिवर्सिटी का ग्राफ बना रहे राइट यू टेक दैट एज अ कंस्ट्रेंट. मालूम पड़ा एक यूनिवर्सिटी में TOEFL चाहिए तो उस टाइम कब देने जाएंगे. दैट्स व्हाई वी रेकमेंड कि सर TOEFL देके खत्म कर दो. दैट इज कई सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज आल्सो है कि आप वहां पे जाके इंग्लिश रिक्वायरमेंट कंप्लीट कर दो एंड दे अलाउ दैट. बट अगेन because there are so many multiple things to do at that point of time, you want to get rid of this. TOEFL कोई बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं है. दो से ट्रेनिंग कर अंदर TOEFL में कुछ है नहीं. तो TOEFL is an eligibility requirement. I would suggest वो देके खत्म कर देना चाहिए. You have it under your belt. So at least technical reason से कहीं पे रिजेक्ट तो नहीं हो रहे. नहीं तो मालूम पड़ता है वो टेक्निकल रीजन से वो अटक जाती है यूनिवर्सिटी तो फिर बाद में अपन को बड़ा बुरा लगता है. अरे यार ये अपन ने डेडलाइन मिस कर दी. That's why TOEFL is recommended कि देके खत्म. Sure.
Financial yearly cost.
नहीं मैंने उसके लिए ना मैं allow me to share screen. Okay. आप पूछिए आपका सवाल पूछिए.
So मैं सेकंड पार्ट लेता हूँ आप फर्स्ट पार्ट के लिए तब तक वो आप करिए. जी. So मैडम रिसर्च पेपर क्या है और उसके एक्स्ट्रा क्रेडिट्स कैसे मिलते हैं? So these research papers there are various research journals and technically they have an impact factor depending upon अगर आप जैसे कोई किसी रिसर्च में हुआ तो you understand what I'm talking about. So a student can do a research जो उसका खुद का indigenous research है जो उसने किया है और वो एक research paper publish कर सकता है किसी टॉपिक पे. If that is published, then it is of high weight. अगर हम उसको publish कर पाते हैं किसी research journal में, and there are various journals which publishes students research, या तो किसी professor के साथ या as an individual, तो वो उसका एक आपको extra brownie point जैसा मिल जाता है that एक research orientation है. अच्छा publication के, so each journal will have its own parameters. जो फ्री में पब्लिश करते होंगे और इम्पैक्ट फैक्टर हाई होगा उनके पैरामीटर्स ज्यादा होंगे. कुछ पैसे लेके पब्लिश करते होंगे उनके पैरामीटर्स कम.
तो पैसे देते.
हाँ आप ऐसा समझ लीजिए. जी जी जी.
But then you can do under division.
Yes.
Like किस पे करना है सर?
नहीं लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड देयर इज इसमें ना ज्यादा स्टूडेंट रीडिंग नहीं होगी. इसमें मोर ऑफ इट इज स्टूडेंट इंटरेस्ट. हम बच्चे को कनेक्ट कर देंगे बात कर देंगे ये एवेन्यूज है. बच्चा उस प्रोफेसर को लिखा और उस प्रोफेसर ने उस ईमेल से अट्रैक्ट होके उसको इनवाइट किया. दैट इज योर. मतलब प्लीज डू नॉट बिल्ड एक्सपेक्टेशंस कि अनुभव सर को जादू कर देंगे. नहीं अनुभव सर जादूगर नहीं है. जादूगर वो बच्चा को. हम तो वी आर सिंपल गाइडर्स. मतलब काव्या को काव्या 15-10 इनफैक्ट मैंने बोल दिया था बेटा नीट मत ले. But she had a drive and she said नहीं मेरे को 15, 60, 15, 70 से ऊपर जाना. नहीं तो ये बच्चे की ड्राइव है. अच्छा अगर उसने बोला तो हमने उसको बहुत सारी हेल्प प्रोवाइड की. That's what I'm trying to say. ये बच्चे की ड्राइव है. हम आपको रिसर्च में शायद सिर्फ बता देंगे ये कर सकते हैं. बच्चे का अगर वो रिसर्च बहुत इम्पैक्टफुल हुई या वो पब्लिश हो गई तो वो बहुत अच्छा. हाँ, आपने जो कॉस्ट के ऊपर क्वेश्चन पूछा था, अगर आप अगर आप ये ग्राफ देखेंगे, वी गिव यू दीज. रेड डॉट इज वेरी हाई बजट, येलो डॉट इज दिस इज श्रुति मैम ने आपको याद होगा. हाँ रेड
उसमें है ये ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट.
अच्छा रेड इज सर्कल. श्रुति मैम आपको इसके फिगर्स आई थिंक $70,000 पर ईयर. दिस इज $70,000 per year and above. This is $60,000 per year and above. This is $50,000 per year and above. And this is $40,000 per year and above, if I remember them accurately. Now $40,000 would translate to 8 for the 32 lakh rupees per. $50,000 would translate to 40 lakh rupees per. And this would translate to 48. And this would translate to 56. तो आपको ये ऐसे हम आपको बना के देते हैं. तो अब आपने जो सवाल पूछा, UCs happen to be largely red dots. These are red circles, UCs. There are some state schools which are green and blue. और आपको इधर relatively पूरा मालूम पड़ता है कि किसकी क्या quality. So then you can pick and choose based on the person. तो ये हम transparently आपसे share करते हैं. और इस पे ये जो है ये आपके SAT स्कोर के हिसाब से आपकी चांस. This is not general, सबका एक ग्राम, सबका अलग अलग ग्राम. So that's how we handle cost. It's only different. नहीं रहना खाना पीना सब कुछ. हाँ मतलब बल्क जो हमने ये करा है, we put everything on.
So if someone doesn't have a budget of this H4, 70 then they can score अगर बहुत ही अच्छा है, so then that student has more chance to clear or further complete that or.
Yeah, good question. Ma'am, then वो क्या होगा? Then he'll be looking at जैसे हमारा जो इंदौर का बच्चा था,
अच्छा यूपेन वाला. हाँ समर्थ जैन.
He came from a middle class family. उनके पास he got an admit with UPenn. He's one of the again Ivy League, but parents did not have the affordability, but he had an excellent profile. He was a national level tennis player. So उसको 2.25 crore की scholarship.
Okay, so you have.
But ये मैडम मैं किसी पेरेंट को मार्केटिंग में ये वाला केस नहीं बोलता, because this is one of those outliers. मैं उस हिसाब से आपको नहीं मार्केट करना चाहता हूँ, and I don't want to build hopes on. This is an outlier case. तो ऐसे हैं cases, but कम. Any other questions? चलिए, so बस अब एक पार्ट है जो अपन मिस कर रहे हैं. People who want to sit with us, we've actually gone very long, but we have time and we would like to spend, if anybody wants to wait. There is one talk which sir would do for 15 minutes on second attempt strategy. Anybody who's done the SAT and want to do it again, so uske upar sir has got a presentation. We'll take a 2-minute break here. People who want to leave can leave. People who want to continue and are wanting to do the second attempt. Is second attempt a good idea? Before sir वो सब चालू करते हैं, is second attempt a good idea? It's a very good. This is what is the most positive about the SAT exams. कि जहाँ पे वो stress नहीं ला रहे हैं बच्चे. Can you do second attempt? Can you do third attempt? Kavya did 2 attempts. She had 1500 and then she improved to 1570. बहुत सारे बच्चे करते हैं. I think Aritro also did 2 attempts. Aritro ने भी 2 attempts करे थे. नहीं, Aritro का भी एक attempt, दूसरा attempt 1500 के ऊपर गया. फिर 1470 था and then he went to 1540. So Aritro had done 2 attempts. Kavya did 2 attempts. I think Akhil also did 2 attempts. 2 attempts is an average. The normal thing. We'll take a break for 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Before then, if anybody wants to leave, they are free to leave. We'll be doing a 15-minute session on people who want to do second attempt. उसका हम क्या हमारे पास strategy है? Then we'll talk about that.
Right now, the score is 14-7. What difference it would make by 30, maybe 15,
You move to a higher grade of schools.
And you improve your chances with the same set of schools. 1470 में school A में मान लीजिए 50% chance. We get another 60 points, 1530. तो school A में आपका chance 50 से शायद 65-70 हो जाएगा. And you get more schools of higher order in your bucket now. और lower वाले थोड़े से कम हो जाएंगे.
And so the number of attempts.
नहीं सर, मैं
For this
The best attempt, yes.
create money.
You are free to decide which one you want to remove. They don't come to know unless and until you want to tell them.
I suggested. Get the. Yes, sir.
Minimum 2 लेने में कोई बुराई नहीं है, बहुत अच्छा है. I always feel बच्चे का नहीं करता है, because familiarity है, बच्चे को सक्रिय physical है. मेरे यहाँ पे on an average 10 में से 8 बच्चा बोलते हैं. That's so good about it. This is what IIT में work in this area. People have realized नीचे ब्रेक मत बनाओ बच्चे. इधर तो 2 से 3 अटेम्प्ट, पर क्या 3 अटेम्प्ट या 4 अटेम्प्ट लेने से कुछ बेटर बेनिफिट होता है नहीं. So you would see a huge jump from 1 to 2, but second to 3 शायद नहीं आएगा. फिर उसके बाद have I seen people taking 4? No, I have not in my lifespan. I've seen people taking 4 attempts. Maximum is 3, average is 2. नहीं, ये तो jump है, ये jump again individual है. I cannot say वो बच्चा कितनी मेहनत करता है, बच्चा अपने गांव में एनालिसिस करके लेता है या नहीं लेता है. I have Pari who's jumped 90. अभी परी ने 190 का जंप किया, विनायक ने 140 का जंप किया सेकंड. But I have students who jump 10 points, I have students who jump 20 points. So वो individual है. ठीक है. अच्छा, ठीक है. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Okay.